Hello, fellow scholars and purveyors of morbid curiosities alike. I'm Dr. Caleb, and I have some terrible news. Dr. Zach is no longer with us. At least, not in the same way he was before. And this is SCPod. Zach, how are you today?
Caleb, I have my own terrible news.
What's that?
I no longer experience time linearly. This is not the first time we've had this conversation.
Oh god, this is gonna be such a mess of a season. Already off the rails.
I just want you to know that I am really sorry about the pizza and all the consequences that we have suffered, and the consequences that you will suffer many, many times.
Oh god. Oh, okay. Well, segues are weird.
Segues are weird. Today. we watched Dracula Flow once and we were never the same after.
That's very true. You know, maybe experiencing Spooky J was what derailed us.
Davy Bones really does do what he pleases.
They talk about how like the world was never the same after Harambe and stuff like that, which, dead jokes and stuff, but maybe the world was never the same after we inhabited Dr. Filler's office.
Yeah, maybe that place was like cordoned off with tape for a reason.
Maybe I'm starting to maybe think about maybe that's the reason you're stuck in this little time thing.
What?
Something about his office?
Oh, no, it's not that. It's not that. Well, I'll get to it eventually. It hasn't technically happened yet, but you will find out in relatively short order. So many times.
Fair. Speaking of pulling legs, Zach, what are we covering today?
Well, before I was rudely displaced from time, I did pull the file for SCP-1993. Your leg. Object class, Euclid.
My leg?
Your leg. Special containment procedures. SCP-1993 is to be kept in a safe with voice-activated locks in standard containment chamber 5 meters by 5 meters by 3 meters in size. The containment chamber is to have no means of visual output to any other location by either direct or electronic means, though the chamber should have a two-way audio transmission capability with an adjoining testing area. Additionally, the containment chamber is to be stocked with a single surgical table and sterilized surgical equipment before testing. During testing, D-Class personnel is to enter containment and close all doors, at which point an authorized researcher is to voice unlock the safe from a remote location. Under no circumstance are unauthorized D-Class or any non-D-Class personnel to access SCP-1993 directly. Transportation of SCP-1993 should take place only with the object inside of a safe. No visual record of SCP-1993 is to be created at any time, and any such records are to be located and destroyed as soon as possible.
Description: SCP-1993 is a human right leg, severed at an angle beginning above the knee and descending to the patella. Examination of the leg has shown the presence of a small tattoo on the exterior side of the ankle, depicting a compass with the needle pointing to the southeast. Instances of 1993 have been observed to decay at a normal rate for a severed limb. All humans making visual contact with 1993 will be immediately convinced, amputated from them at some point in the past, and replaced with a simulacrum. Affected individuals have no explanation as to how, when, or under what circumstances their leg was removed, but in no instance has any individual been disabused to the idea once exposed to SCP-1993. If permitted physical access to SCP-1993, individuals will find some manner of removing their own leg above the knee. Documented incidents have seen individuals applying tourniquets and performing amputations with improvised sharpened pieces of metal, shards of glass, or with their own teeth, cutting through skin, muscle, and tendon, dislocating the patella and severing all requisite tendons and the anterior cruciate ligament. Individuals will then attempt to attach SCP-1993 to their own bodies, again, using whatever materials are available to them. However, given the complexity of microsurgical reattachment, this will often be carried out haphazardly, with many affected individuals electing finally to connect the limb via topical methods such as stapling or using adhesive chemicals. While exposure to 1993 causes affected individuals to ignore or mentally suppress sensations of pain during the procedure, the massive damage caused by the amputation typically results in death by any combination of blood loss, shock, or injuries caused by attempting to walk on the attached leg. In the event that the patient survives the procedure's immediate aftermath, infections resulting either from the general exposure to bacteria or from contact with necrotic tissue will typically prove lethal without immediate medical treatment. Current experimentation suggests that the anomalous phenomenon associated with 1993 transfers from the former leg to the newly amputated one at some point during the procedure. The exact point of transition is unknown, but former instances of 1993 can be removed from the containment chamber without anomalous effect once the other leg is left behind. This second leg can now be identified as SCP-1993. All instances thus removed have had a compass rose tattoo on the ankle.
Addendum 1993-A. Testing Log. Test 1993-2. Supplies provided. Standard surgical equipment, sterilized forceps, scalpels, bowls, running water. Description: D65451 entered testing chamber as instructed and accessed SCP-1993. Subject was heard to audibly gasp despite prompting. Subject was unable to describe what she was seeing at the time and refused to respond verbally. Approximately 20 minutes passed with D class in the containment chamber, accompanied by sounds of grunting and dripping, followed by a loud crash. D85165 instructed to enter the testing chamber and retrieve the previous D class from 1993's containment area. D class 85165 entered testing chamber as instructed. Approximately 23 minutes passed with D85165 in containment chamber, accompanied by sounds of audible pain, squeaking, and finally an unidentified loud, repeated metallic thumping sound. D85165 exited containment dragging D65451 unconscious from blood loss and former instance of 1993, attached to the severed end of D6451 thigh. D85165 was found to have amputated his own leg and replaced it with that of D65451 using a Black & Decker brand staple gun to make the connection. Notes: at no point was any staple gun introduced into the testing chamber. Further tests are to require stricter searching of personnel involved.
Test 1993-6. Personnel: D-1951, D-8923, D-2678, and D-1864. Supplies provided. Standard surgical equipment, as above. Description: all 4 D-Class personnel entered containment and accessed SCP-1993 without difficulty. Upon accessing, all 4 individuals refused to respond to verbal instructions or requests for updates. The following 20 minutes of audio output closely resembled a violent fistfight, accompanied primarily by grunting, dripping, and panting sounds, along with the occasional mutters of mine and give me. 26 minutes into the recording, screaming becomes audible. Screaming continues for 3 minutes, followed by 2 minutes of begging, 30 seconds of a squirting sound, and silence. It's the name of my autobiography. Further grunting and dripping sounds are heard for 18 minutes, followed by an unidentified sound for 45 seconds. D-8923 exited containment with the previous instance of SCP-1993 connected to his leg via duct tape 3 minutes later. DNA analysis confirmed the leg's owner as D51684. Notes: at no point was any duct tape introduced into the testing chamber. Further tests suspended indefinitely.
And I just want to note for...
And, Zach, there seems to be a footnote here.
There is, and just throwing it out there for everyone who's still mad about the Tyler episode, This is connected to SCP-1311, survivors of which are immune to this effect. We'll get to it. Don't get your panties in a twist. We'll cover it later.
You know, at some point, do we just, like, kind of pretend that Tyler was, like, a 55 episode and ignore that's existence?
No.
Fair enough.
Caleb, how do you feel about legs?
Well, Zach, how do I feel about legs?
Yeah.
Well, I have 2 of them.
That's a lie, Caleb.
You know,
we both know it.
The average number of legs that humanity has is less than 2, so I count myself lucky in that respect.
Hey, I have a genuine question.
Yeah.
How weird would it be if the average was more than 2?
That would be interesting.
Like, unexplainably, just like you just see the number go up one day.
What's the thing that like influencers use to like track their following?
Yeah.
And like they just have like scientists like studying this thing, and like randomly one day the average legs hits 2.0, and then one day later it's like 2.001, and then everybody's like, what the fuck?
Like, what is this? What does it mean?
Get on it, writer boy. Let's hear a story.
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
So my question is, right off the bat, there's a weird thing with the special containment procedures, right?
Yeah.
It says during testing, a D-class personnel is to enter containment and close all doors.
Mm.
But they scratched out the word single. It used to say a single D-class personnel. Yep. Do you think that it's just because they started wanting to do tests with like multiple D-class personnel, and so they were like, oh, only D-class personnel is permitted to enter?
I think we saw why they chose to do that in the test logs, because if they only send the one in there, they're going to immediately cut off their leg and then probably die shortly after. And so if you send more than one in there, they're all going to do it eventually, but you get a chance of actually getting them, at least someone, out of the test chamber if you send more than one in. Just like this weird daisy chain of like maiming. I mean
yeah, it's kind of like sorry, go ahead.
And the only reason they stopped was the fact that like they kept finding smuggled items in there. Like the duct tape I can weirdly undersee getting through security. The staple gun is where I'm confused how they got in.
Well, okay, but okay, so the one with the staple gun is test number 2,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they even said like further tests are require stricter searching, and then 4 tests later, that's how the duct tape gets in there. I'm almost thinking this leg has pockets.
Right, or like maybe there's some tangential ability to produce an item that would attach the leg to the body, like as a weird secondary effect. Because it already has
It just like materializes shit. It's like the coffee machine, but for only adhesive items.
Yeah, or connecting. Like, I wonder if we can get it to do like carpentry joiners.
Oh, okay.
Just like little wooden pegs to just kind of slot in over.
I'm just wondering how, like, at what point does it just like spit out some Gorilla Glue?
Oh yeah, that'd be a problem. Your leg. This is interesting because like I'm trying to think of like another weird like specific kind of I want to say that's a cognitohazard effect, or like some other similar thing. Like I don't know if cognitohazard strictly applies here, but like I feel like it's the closest thing to it. It's not mimetic because it's not fucking with memory.
Well, it does. It does fuck with memory because it makes the person believe that it was their leg. So it's fucking up their memory to make them believe. Maybe it's more amnetic, but it's making them believe. It's replacing their memories with that of that is their leg.
Right. My what I'm getting at is I don't know if that's a memory or if it's a compulsion.
Okay, yeah, that's
and
fair
that
enough.
might be a distinction without difference, which I'm totally willing to cop to. I'm just trying to like figure out necessarily how that works, because and like what's necessarily if there's an end goal here, or if there's like a weird case of it's producing an effect without a reason. I mean, it's a Euclid. It's a Euclid for a reason, right?
Right.
And this is a pretty good example of a Euclid asks Euclid. Like we don't.
That is 100% right.
Because like it's just a thing. It will definitely kill you. We don't know why it's doing the thing it does, but we kind of understand some of it, how it works, but we don't know specifically how it works. It's sort of like harkens back to the when we covered the interdimensional nasal cavity, where we were trying to figure out like if it's the nose that's the anomaly, the portal that's the anomaly, or the nail that caused it that's the anomaly.
The thing that really sticks out for me with this one is the tattoo, because no matter what is attached, like they send 4 people in and they all swap their legs together, and then they all have the tattoo on there, even if there wasn't a tattoo there before. And I think that is really interesting. There's definitely something bigger going on at play with that.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Like maybe the tattoo is what's driving the actual anomaly, because the leg, like according to the file, decays at a reasonable rate, right? And the only thing that ties together the actual effect is that tattoo coming and going.
Yeah. It's like the only way that you can actually like track that it was like once an SCP-1993.
Right, and I'm trying to look looking back through the file, like it doesn't mention where we found it.
The leg itself.
Yeah, or like whatever the original one was.
To pull a Zach here, right? I almost think that the tattoo is the SCP.
Yeah, you kind of read my mind, because that's kind of where I was going with it.
Yeah, because none of the legs that are like once they take the leg and attach it to themselves, it loses all of its anomalous property, even if they recut it off at some point. And so it's like whatever is the one that's left behind is the new your leg, quote unquote.
Right. It's like I don't know if this comparison holds up entirely well, but it's a little bit like a ship of Theseus, where the original anomaly is probably, or the original anomalous leg, quote unquote, is probably long turned to dust, but this thing that might be producing the effect is the actual anomaly. This is just spitball theorizing, but I think that you're onto something there, and it was where I was going to take it. But I'm glad that you also had the same idea.
Okay, so now the question is, right? There has to be an originator of this leg,
yes.
Right? This had to be attached to somebody at some point, and they got that tattoo. Do you think that? So there's 2 options here. And there's only 2 options, Zach. I'm telling you straight up. I know the answers, and it only boils down to these 2 answers.
Okay.
Is it the guy who had the original leg was a wizard and made the tattoo anomalous, or was the person that gave him the tattoo gave him the curse because he knew it was going to be a shitty tattoo to put on that person anyway? Those are the only 2 options. I don't know which one is the right one, but I know that all the other options are wrong.
I admire the confidence. No, I think like realistically, like thinking about it, I think those might be the 2 most likely explanations, because it's either the person whose legs it was originally, or it's the person who put the tattoo on. Because I don't know. Like, to make a really stupid statement, normal severed legs don't want you to make you want to cut your own leg off. But for whatever...
It's not calling to you like the One Ring.
Yeah, it's not like... God. I I wish there was more information about documentation about origins, and because depending on how recently it was, DNA testing could be an option, because then we could if they were recorded anywhere, if they had done an ancestry DNA test, or if they were in the system, or just what have you, then you could kind of at least find out relations, and then do some backwards digging records wise to see if any one of those people lost a leg at some point or died under really weird circumstances.
Well, yeah, because it wouldn't be that hard to trace it back too, because it's okay, we've had this leg here for a little bit, but according to the log, we've only done 6 tests with it, so the leg would have exchanged hands, feet,
limbs,
only a certain amount of time, and so we can track basically the original leg that we got here, and then DNA test that, find out where that person is, and then just kind of 23andMe our way back with as much fraud included with it as 23andMe as well. But and then find out the originator of said leg. But I'm also kind of wondering, because it is I'm almost wondering if this leg didn't just appear out of nowhere, and maybe it didn't have an original person.
Okay.
Because there's just the patient zero of this, right? Say this is somebody's leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then randomly they somehow die, and then the leg had to become severed from them somehow. So I'm almost wondering if maybe there was a patient zero, but that patient was that person was already dead, and then some weird Sarkic guy came over, cut it up, and then was this leg is my prized possession, and then had a Gollum episode, and then that was what happened. They did the tattoo, and then he was wait, I actually really like that leg, and then
Yeah, it's by nature of what we do, I can't entirely rule out anything you just said, because there are shit there is stuff that is just like that in the Foundation. The second point of order is that I just scrolled down and looked at the tags on the file, and I think we are all right, because it is labeled as a cognitohazard, memory affecting, and mind affecting SCP. So everybody wins.
It says it's visual, but there is no photos in this article.
Nor should you look up any. Caleb, don't look in your email until the recording is done.
No, I've already determined that the thumbnail for this episode is going to be a goat leg from Skyrim.
Perfect. But no,
it's pretty damn close to the description, just a goat version.
Kinda. But no, it's you did raise a good point, where it's it's not entirely implausible that there was suddenly just a leg that appeared with a tattoo. It's also not entirely impossible that the person whose leg originally was already dead when the leg was removed, and then the effect was created.
Yeah.
It's also not entirely implausible that there's... I'm kind of concerned that because of the way it looks like there has been some lackluster preservation of specimens in the file, because it looks like they may have just disposed of previous instances, that I don't know if it's possible I don't know if we have the actual original file or leg tissue on file or in preservation anywhere.
Yeah, that's fair. I went back and looked too, because I knew that they brought up the decay, and it says instances of SCP-1993 have been observed to decay at the normal rate for a severed limb. So, I wonder, if they do decay and one day they just throw a test in there and there's just a skeletal leg. you know, that is interesting too. I wonder if it's something like if they get to a point where there's no flesh on the limb, like somehow it just like the tattoo forms on a different severed limb somewhere or something like that. It's just like there's a lot of the tattoo is what's getting me. Like why is the tattoo the thing?
Yeah, like that's a really good question you bring up. Where it's like if we let it get to dry remains status, would the effect still take place?
Yeah, I'm willing to sacrifice my leg for this if it means that I get to have a skeletal leg.
Caleb, I don't know how to tell you this, but it doesn't work the way you think it does, and I don't want to see it again.
Fair. I guess, yeah, you know, it is now canon that I have a thing for skeletons.
It was canon for a while. You weren't subtle about it.
No, but I mean, like, a thing for skeletons.
Again, I'm pretty sure that wasn't subtle. It's been a thing for a while. The only thing the Spooky J special did is make it publicly stated. In text and not subtext.
No reading between the lines there.
Never a miscommunication. Sun goes up, sun comes down. It's just... There are questions. I'm a little concerned about the lack of like details and just like some of the tangential information about like records, where origin, what's being done with like actual materials. I really want to know what happened in tests 1, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Because given what this is, what the article is talking about, I feel like there is information to be gleaned from those tests, and I'm concerned why they weren't recorded.
Yeah. You know, Dr. Zach, I'm very hesitant to say this. It's not something that I like to say very forthcomingly. You know, and this is a moment of vulnerability for me. And, you know, do with this sound clip as you will.
Oh, no.
But, Dr. Zach, you were right.
I will not abuse that any which way.
This is a Euclid-ass SCP. Like, this is what they should be showing new personnel at the SCP Foundation to describe the object classes. Like, you have safe over here where we just put it in a cardboard box and put it in the Indiana Jones fucking warehouse. And then you have Keter, which is just like, oh, good luck containing that shit. And then you have Euclid, which is like, what the fuck is going on here? And then just show him the leg.
Yeah, because like it's just this thing where it's like if you leave with so many more questions than answers, it's probably a Euclid.
And you know what? I had no questions coming into this other than like, what is your leg? And
what is your leg?
I've left with at least double that.
Right? What is your leg?
What? What is your leg?
Like this is a good example of like the importance of writing shit down. And I can't help but wonder, this is all stuff the original researchers would have thought about when they were cataloging.
Yeah, it is interesting. There seems to be, you know, I wonder how long this SCP has been in Foundation custody, because this strikes me as like researchers' first SCP. Like,
it looks
neglecting all of the research, just kind of throwing D-class personnel at it just to like do some fucked up Russian sleep experiment.
Well, we can actually find that out. I think it looks like it was first.
Well, we can find out when it was put into the wiki, but we don't know how old the file is.
Well, I mean, I feel like they're kind of the same. For our purposes, it looks like it was initially cataloged in 2012, which does line up with earlier records.
2012. Yeah, that is a pretty early SCP. Honestly.
And like, you know, grading on a curve, that's pretty good for 2012. It was a wild time.
Oh yeah. No, this is a compelling SCP. Like,
oh, totally.
I know we're kind of joking about like how simple it kind of is, but like this is a compelling ass SCP.
No, exactly, and that's kind of like why I don't know if this ever comes up in discussions or if anyone else talks about the show this way, where it's like, one of the reasons why we engage with the material the way we do, like when we're not making jokes, is that we kind of want to take it seriously as a reading, just because I want to be kind of respectful for the intent of the original researchers and the people who wrote it down in the first place.
100%.
And so, you approach it as someone who's taking the material seriously and just thinking like, okay, so why isn't this information here? It's interesting they included this but not that. And like, especially in this case where it's like, I think it's a super interesting SCP. I just have so many more questions, and maybe I would be willing to accept that maybe that's the point.
Yeah. This definitely kind of reeks of that, like the best horror is done with as little information as possible.
Or like a Dark Souls item description.
Exactly. Like, I mean, it definitely does have that feeling of like, okay, this is definitely made to, like, make two doofuses grab a mic and talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, mission accomplished.
And okay, so this was my contribution to the season, right? This was my idea for the season. Let me tell you about how I knew about this SCP.
Okay.
This SCP was back in, I want to say 2016. I had a friend who ran a Call of Cthulhu campaign, but SCP version. And this was like one of the things that we encountered. And that is how I found out about your leg, is we all got to experience it firsthand.
That's so good.
And I ended up, my character was a big dumb brute, and who just liked to grapple things. He put all of his points into grappling, and he grappled that leg and put it on himself.
Did he survive?
And I died.
Answer that.
Nope.
Answer that question real quick.
I mean, I got to play for like 2 more sessions, but
what a way to go! Like, as someone who's like gone through a lot of character deaths, like that's great. Oh God, I have so many questions. I could probably sit here and go through more of them, but I feel like we kind of covered the information that we would like to have. Just like, where's the leg now? The original leg now? Do we have an idea of where it came from? And I feel like, in terms of an actual research direction, someone should probably take more time to look at that tattoo as opposed to the actual leg itself.
Yeah. I wish that there was like a instrument or a tool that we could use to actually like measure the spooky coming off of something.
Spookometer, if you will. Because
I would like to take that instrument, spookometer, for the spooklets. but like I would like to just run it over and just see like, okay, is the anomalous like stuff coming from the tattoo, or is the whole leg just anomalous? Like, what's going on here?
Caleb, what sound would a spookometer make?
Are you trying to make me do the skeleton noise?
I'm trying to make you make some sort of noise.
No, it'd be bones rattling. Rattling.
Just like, ooh.
You know how Geiger counters like start clicking a lot more, and it's just like the fucking bone xylophone just gets loud or quicker and quicker.
It's just a rattling noise.
Yeah. No, okay. Actually, the spookometer just plays the original theme song to Scooby-Doo, but it speeds it up based off how much spooky energy is about.
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that sparks joy.
There was a Halloween where I worked a graveyard shift at a coffee shop, and we listened to the Scooby-Doo theme song for 10 hours straight. And it's a good memory I have.
Did anyone die?
Well, I was working alone.
So did you say when you said that initially?
And I think that's more indicative of...
Caleb, that sounds like...
Go ahead.
So first of all, I want to point out that I'm pretty sure I heard you say we put on a... And the second thing is without context, one of the more you things I've ever heard you do.
Exactly. It was like more of the royalty, like we as the business put that on. Even though it was 100% me.
It was a me decision, but I'm blaming we.
Yeah, they left me unattended with the PA system.
And a box full of caffeine.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, Zach, do you have anything else you wanna put in about your leg?
No.
You put your left leg in, put your left leg out.
I mean,
you put your left leg in, you shake it all
I will
about.
say that I am generally a fan of legs. And you can take that however you like.
There was a reason I didn't ask you, like, oh, how do you feel about legs, Zach? After you asked me, it's because I
you knew.
Do not care to have that information.
You knew. And I wasn't gonna let you get away with it.
I would say like the patella is like maybe my 17th favorite bone.
What's your 18th?
The tibia. It's just a fun word.
And the 16th?
Phalange.
Hold on. That is I feel like you ranked it higher in the Halloween episode.
No. I said that's where the soul was kept. No, the soul is kept in the universe.
You're on.
Man, I don't know, man. I pulled all the information out of that episode out of my ass.
You are on thin ice, mister.
Davy Bones does as he pleases.
I have nothing more to say about your leg, Caleb.
Yeah. Editor, cut that out.
Editor, don't. I'll know.
All right. Your leg, 1993. This is a fun SCP. This is a fun entry. I'm glad that we finally got around to it. This is like one of the first ones that I was like, oh, Zach, we should cover this.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it to the show.
Yeah. We've covered a bunch of like older SCPs, and newer SCPs, and the newer ones like they answer a lot of those questions and like leave you with just like little bits of question that still make you think about it. But this one, as far as an older SCP goes, like it's compelling. I really enjoy this one. Like it definitely has a lot of holes that you have to fill in, but I think that works to its benefit.
I think you're right. Ultimately, I think that's where I land too.
Yeah. So, with that being said, Zach, where can people find you?
They can find me over on my blog at www.makeawritingcheck.blogspot.com. At the time of recording, we just finished up my annual October miniseries, though due to the aforementioned time displacement of myself, I don't know if that's strictly speaking true at the time of the show airing. They can also find me...
he's kind of like a... Oh, sorry.
They can also find my published collection of short stories, Tales from Port Aster, wherever it is you buy ebooks.
Yes, and you can always go to our link tree, and I have all the links of that posted on there as well.
Ooh.
We kind of have Zach locked in a cage, and he's just like... We go to him like the Great Deku Tree. And then we record an episode, and then he forgets about it the next day.
Like the Great Dooku Tree is just a tree that looks like Christmas tree. Christopher Lee.
Zach, I have a question for you. Are we in 50 First Dates? Am I Adam Sandler?
No,
and you're Drew Barrymore?
It's much dumber than that.
You can find me at Calica1738 on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Calica Plays on Twitch. And you can find me at Calica on YouTube, which I say this at the end of every episode during my show part, but is a ghost town. It's no longer a ghost town on my YouTube. I am putting content out on there. Hoping to get some more on there. Right now it's just like Yu-Gi-Oh shit. But hopefully going to be doing some like music reviews and stuff like that. Yeah, that's where you can find me. You can follow us on Twitter, us being the podcast, not the business that let me play Scooby-Doo for 10 hours straight. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at SCPod_cast. Follow us on Instagram at SCPod.cast. We're available on Spotify and YouTube. And, say this at the end of every episode, but it really does help. Please remember to like, rate, follow, subscribe, comment, all those things. Zach and I are tickled pink every time somebody comments, and we can screenshot it and send it to each other, or things like that. We've seen a lot of growth in the podcast, and just in general, it's really fun to just, interact with people that are like... anytime I send Zach like hey, look, this episode got 60 views, he's like, why the fuck are there 60 people that are watching us?
Yeah.
And science can't answer that.
We don't know. Please tell us. We want to study you.
Exactly. This is usually the part where I ask Zach what we're covering next week, but I know what we're covering next week for once. We are covering SCP-1311.
Yes.
And we're going to see if it has anything to do with your leg, or my leg, or their leg. Yeah, that's about it. Dr. Zach.
Yeah.
How are you pulling our leg this time?
Idiot succumbs to neurotoxin while listening to Macho Man. Click now to see.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.